Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I am very excited, as we always are, to debut our historical fashion subscription box outfit for the month of February.
It's our strong closer for the month of February. I am so excited about this one.
It's been a wonderful February. We started with Anne and her heartstrings outfit, and then we went to our amazing Elowin outfit, our flamenco rhythm and roses, and this one is called Christopher. You named her, so let's chat about it.
This is Sailing Stripes for our Grace Marie Fitzpatrick Season 4 February box. And this is a really phenomenal play on the color palette of the season, but also something that you really can incorporate for all spring and all summer. And I love this outfit. That's in the lineup of everything. Initially, it wasn't something that I was super focused on because there were so many wonderful pieces. And I think up until the last maybe month or so, it's maintained that for me. And I've really sort of fallen in love with it all over again, just getting it ready for this, unveiling and for pressing and for photos and advertising. And it's so wonderful. It's so beautifully made and fits her so nicely and feels timeless and also very period and feminine and practical. It's fantastic. And it has a hat.
It has a hat. We put that in on the schedule to tempt you, to let you know, to get you excited that it has a hat, because that is a very big deal.
Oh.
A hat is such a big deal. To get a hat for Grace is extremely expensive. It always has been.
Yeah.
And we have not put out hardly any hats for Grace. Truly.
It's so hard. Her head scale is so specific.
It is. It's interesting to hear Christopher's interpretation. He loves it now, but when he didn't gravitate towards it so much before, I did. It was one of my favorites. Right. But we all have our own fashion taste. Of course, nothing in the historical subscription or any of our subscription boxes we don't like.
Well, of course.
Right.
But it's also
we have our favorite.
That, a team is able to sort of highlight the best character traits of any one project or any one garment or whatever, and that sort of dance you do all the time.
All the time.
And it's important to have that sort of feedback.
It is. And that's why I love being on a team and why it's so wonderful to have Christopher. We have to tell him about what happened yesterday with Holiday Inn. With our team. Because
oh my gosh. There was a turning point yesterday.
What?
And for the first time ever. I mean, Holland has always been fine around me. She
doesn't see you often.
No, well, but I've been around since she's been alive.
True.
And she has never really been interested in my company. And yesterday it was so organic. I walk in and I getting my stuff put away, and I walk over to the desk where Rachel is always perched doing emails or having coffee as I walk in. And instead I find Holland. And I was like, oh, hello, good morning. And her school was closed. And kind of without missing a beat, we start having a conversation.
Yeah.
And she had usually she is very shy and will sort of turn away from me or, scuttle over to you. And we start talking about her pancakes and her blackberries and her bluey sunglasses.
I know.
And it was like, I kind of didn't know what to do with myself for just a second. It was so sweet.
It was so sweet. And my favorite part was, because she's been the same way for Paul too, her and Paul laughed and looked at videos on his phone for over an hour. I was able to get a lot of stuff done. And at one point I went over to check on things and make sure she was still having fun. And she actually grabbed my hand and led me away and said, "Go see Christopher." She told me to go see Christopher.
She said, GTFO, Mom. I'm busy with a tea party with Paul.
It was everything. We laughed about it all afternoon. I have thought about that so many times. Go see Christopher. She knows how our team works. I'm constantly going over to Christopher's desk or area to talk about everything that we have going on all the time.
Yeah.
But it's funny that a 3-year-old could actually just notice that too, and to say, go see Christopher. It was just...
Well, and to be reveling so intensely
she was having so much fun.
Joy with Paul, exactly.
Yeah.
And at one point, we got a package delivered, and the mailman came in, and we all sort of have a Pavlovian response to the doorbell, and so we'll all sort of, find our way to the front door if somebody comes, because we can hear it. And at one point, the package comes and Paul gets up to go see what it is, and I'm already on my way, and I hear Holland go, "Paul, where are you going?"
It was so cute.
And like I was like, "Paul, go have fun with her. I got the mail." It was really
It was
sweet.
amazing.
And
it was a turning point.
so I growth is not linear necessarily, but I hope that our relationship continues to be
It will. You're
blossoming.
You're wonderful with children. It's just she's shy around everybody that she doesn't see on a consistent basis. She's getting a lot better, but telling me to go see Christopher was like
Priceless.
It was good. So we had a good day. But now we are back in action here, working and talking about our sailing stripes outfit. So it's wonderful. There are different ways to style it, which I adore for an outfit, when you can use the different pieces and style it different ways. Spring and summer, I think, was what we're really leaning into with this outfit. What do you think?
Sure. Yeah, I think so. I mean, like, even if it is sort of a warm day, when you're out on a boat, it can be sort of
always
chilly, and so a jacket of sorts is necessary, but it's not by any means a winter coat, as we have snow falling outside here in Denver today.
I always like to pull it out so you know exactly what you are receiving. Your dress right here, worn by itself, is absolutely adorable.
It's lovely, and that little chiffon overlay skirt is so wonderful. Love the stripes. I love a stripe. I say it constantly, but I do. I love a classic continuous pattern. It's the same reason I love polka dots. It's something that you can use endlessly and it never really tires. And so in this way, it feels timeless to me. Same thing with the jacket. Lovely details.
You have this wonderful jacket. It has, look at the buttons here on the sleeve. And then it comes with this really great scarf, which can be used to cinch it at the waist or just around the neck as a scarf or in your hair. Right, but the sash we would sell for $8.
Oh, yeah.
It's the hat I don't even know how much. It's just I'm always just very proud of and because we have the wonderful subscribers who buy our stuff all the time, we're able to do this. I was extremely impressed. He sat down at the computer. You had brainstormed the story a little bit in your head. In the shower, you like to do a lot of brainstorming.
It's my thinking place. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Me too. I think a lot, and at night sometimes. But we had not written the story. We had done a lot of other things, and then I realized we had to write our story, and the story just flowed. It flowed this time.
Preparation and creativity is often sort of a journey, but I was very excited to be the author of the story this time.
The author. A lot of times we'll write it together. We'll have kind of a think tank. It'll be the whole team or whatever.
So I was, brainstorming one morning, and in the shower it sort of started to come. So anyway, I wrote the story this month, and I won't read much of it, but if you'd like, I can, start with the.
We always do an excerpt to kind of set the mood.
So this is chapter 4 of Grace's journey through time, titled Sailing Stripes. And it goes, at the waterfront sat a restaurant. An old, tall, 3-story building with creaky stairs that wound in a pretty spiral. At the top was a balcony where Grace was seated, overlooking the shore. Perched there with a tray of fresh oysters and that clever old book, she was furrowed deep in thought. That book, she ruminated. It had become a gnawing distraction. She was beginning to think perhaps there was a way of using it. Reminded of her recent travels and all those incredible garments, Grace wondered how much of her own curiosity fueled her adventures. Had her wishful thinking played a role in meeting the famed Mr. Dickens? Or perhaps musings of her historical home and what it must have been like all those years ago? Did she conjure its very presence? She took in her surroundings, the light, salty breeze, the sound of laughing beachgoers hanging in the air, the crisp, briny oysters and their bumpy little shells. It was a peaceful day, one with joy and wonder just waiting at Grace's fingertips.
But where's the part where you say she cracks open the book and an oyster?
Oh,
it's so good.
Well, thank you. With one hand, she brought the oyster to her lips, savoring the taste of the ocean, and with the other cracked open the cover of A Journey Through Time.
I just love that. And at one point he talks about how the book is like vibrating on the table and stuff. Worked so hard to get this on our beautiful page just within a few hours of work. She did a wonderful job.
So wonderful. They really immerse you in her journey, where she's going. It's so playful.
Such a fantastic job. Our paper doll of the month is so beautiful. Diana Vining did such a wonderful job as always, but it features Grace in a little dress. This is like a cute little seashore day dress. And then we have the full dress on the other side, but you can really do two different ways. It's like getting two paper dolls in one. I absolutely love it. And then it has a little telescope for looking at sailors, which she told me, and I absolutely cracked up when she told me about that. I thought that was so cute. Diana Vining has such a wonderful sense of humor. She does such a good job, but Grace looks absolutely beautiful. Everything goes together so well, from the makeup to the bow in her hair and how the sash is at the waist. And then of course the beautiful, beautiful hat. And then the background is just the absolute complete vibe. It says boating in 1910. Again, this was before we named the outfit. Diana Vining works ahead, but she completely got it. And I absolutely love it. Good job, Diana. Grace's boating adventure. She did so many cute things. She just completely gets it every time. I love the compass and the ticket and the picture of Grace framed in the masterpiece painting and the little ship steering wheel that says Lady Grace. Those oysters look totally delicious. And then the pleasure boat is so beautiful. So this is really fun. This is going to come in your box.
I love that she has the scarf of the hat, that sort of nice lace billowing behind her, like it happens in the story. It's a really sweet touch. And of course, she's driving the boat, sailing.
Pattern is going to be historical for this subscription. She's going to be doing some more modern ones too. But when she does a historical one, it is just such a treat. It feels like such a treat in studio with us to talk to us all about it. Come on in, Tamara.
Can you imagine what the women of the 1890s must have felt with their increasing independence and the social change of that time? There was a strong switch in fashion to practicality, style, and symbolism, and that included the nautical era. Nautical motifs such as stripes, the sailor collar, and gold buttons became common elements in the walking suits of that time. The suits had a tailored military-style look, reflecting a broader fascination with Navy style, which was associated with dignity and the discipline of the military. Grace's pattern of the month captures this style, and her pattern is called Seaside Escape. The pattern features a button front top with the iconic wide square sailor collar and cuffs with contrasting stripe detail, a 7-gore floor-length skirt with contrasting band at the hemline, and a coordinating waist belt which shares those same contrasting stripes. The naval-inspired walking suits were often finished off with a small, flat-top straw hat referred to as a boater or a skimmer. As Grace travels back in time, I believe she could easily fit in for a walk along the seashore or a stroll down the boardwalk. I hope you enjoy this pattern of the month. I look forward to seeing your interpretation of the Seaside Escape pattern, and I can't wait to see what you make.
Thank you again to Tamara Casey of Designs by Jude. Aren't you excited to see Tamara in October, Christopher?
I miss Tamara actually more often than I say. I know that sounds cheesy and empty, but I have grown really close with the other members of the team.
Yeah.
And over the last year, I fostered a really beautiful friendship with Diana. So, hello, Diana. And was really pleasantly surprised also by how much I felt I hit it off with Tamara. And she is a hoot. So I'm already looking forward very much to seeing all my new friends and coworkers again, and all of you in October, if you can make it. But yes, very much. I would love to see actually her pieces in person. If she could bring the patterns that she's actually made with her would be an amazing exhibit.
I asked her, we'll chat more about that with her, but I asked her to bring some, especially because at the Ohio show, we're going to have a booth the next day too.
Right.
And so I encouraged her and also Diana Vining to bring their artwork for what they do with their businesses too. So we're going to have like a VDC conglomeration in our booth of us and everyone's going to have a little something in our booth. We're going to have a nice big booth right next to Robert Tonner at the Ohio National Doll Show in October. We hope you can make it. The registrations are already up to 100 for the gala dinner. And and it's sold out at 125. So get your registration in.
Don't wait.
No, don't wait. It's going to be so much fun. And Robert, it's just dark academia. It's going to be a blast. So don't miss that. But, one thing I wanted to say too, when we were talking about Tamara Casey though, when Tamara came out here for October, on the first day, I whisked her off to the Airbnb, which is 4 or 5 blocks away, wanting her to get some rest and everything for the next day.
Yeah.
And then I find out the next day, but Christopher was working late. And she didn't tell me. She just said she was out for a walk. She had walked back to the antique store.
Oh, yeah. And she was working here.
She worked late with Christopher.
Getting in some extra hours. We had schemed to Tamara was very much like, don't tell Rachel. It's like, are you sure? She's like, I want it to be a surprise.
Not that I would have cared, but I just thought she would, because she had flown in that day, want to get some rest.
And she's so giving.
Yeah. She came right back so that she could work until Christopher left for another several hours. So that's the kind of worker and the kind of person Tamara Casey is. There's no way she couldn't be that way and be producing and be producing 3 patterns a month.
Right, exactly.
That's wild to me.
It's nuts.
That's nuts. That's on the same level of doing 3 boxes a month. The amount of work and orchestration involved, all by herself. She's incredible. So anyway, and she deserves all that. So Tamara, we're very excited to see you in October. But speaking of fashion history though, our cover letter. So I always like to put a little cover letter in your boxes, chatting with you. Sometimes it's a personal note. Sometimes we're talking about what's going on. But this month we are talking about the journey through time with our fashion and the 1910s nautical walking suit. So we have some information about the nautical fashion of the time around 1910. And there is a 1911 walking dress from the collection of the Metropolitan Museum of Art, pictured right there. Yeah. Totally different in style, but still the same.
Inspired very much.
Yeah, very much the same. So this outfit, our outfit of the month, draws inspiration from maritime chic that became the rage among the elite traveling on grand ocean liners. Nautical fashion with its crisp stripes and structured yet flowing lines reflects the era's fascination with sea and adventure. This outfit, a nautical walking suit, embodies the practical yet stylish attire favored by women for leisure activities and travel. So the walking suit was an essential part of the women's wardrobe for outdoor activities, tailored to allow freedom of movement without sacrificing elegance. Compromising of a skirt and coordinated jacket and accessorized with hats and gloves, these suits were both functional and fashionable. The red and white color palette not only adds a vibrant touch, but also pays homage to the traditional nautical colors, making it a striking ensemble for any seaside promenade or deck. And then it goes in to talk about the cultural impact on travel and fashion and materials and craftsmanship. But we know already that we love land and sea outfits.
Yeah, we've got a small library of existing favorite pieces. And actually, on note of that, we still have some of our land and sea collection shoppable in the boutique. So if you were looking to beef up your wardrobe, or perhaps you were one of the few, or rather one of the many, that were sort of disappointed that we didn't have a nautical outfit for Grace in the same way that we did for Elowen. There wasn't a yachting ensemble. Right. Now, if you have a yachting ensemble, you can sort of blend your universes with Grace.
I don't know. Oh, here. Yeah, we brought here. So the whole point of telling you this and sharing with you is that we do have the yachting outfit still in stock if you would like to mesh both worlds. This does not fit Grace. It fits her from the front, but not if you want to zip it up the back.
Yeah, it doesn't quite fit in the back.
No, this is for Ella. But if you bought any of the land and sea pieces, a ton of you did. It all goes together really well.
I agree.
With the color scheme and style.
Right. The style especially. And again, so much of this is period specific, but if you're sort of looking at an archive or a catalog, they make sense together. I'm really excited to sort of dip our toes back into just a taste of that. We haven't quite expanded on the collection of land and sea in a little while, but this is a really nice sort of installment that you can add to that collection. And I think they make sense together just great.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh, I think it's a blast. And even though one of the land and sea pieces, which was that beautiful palazzo pant jumpsuit, was from the 1950s, I think it still goes. I think they're a ton of fun together.
With that bell sleeve, nice points in the jacket.
Yes.
It makes sense.
We have bell sleeves right here.
Yeah.
50 years earlier, 60 years earlier.
Yeah.
I love it. I'd wear that. I'd wear any one of the outfits in Grace's lineup.
Oh my gosh. I
know which one you would want to wear the most though.
I think you're right. I think you know exactly the one.
Oh yeah.
And it's coming soon.
Who doesn't like big dresses?
I truly, if I could, I would just I would sleep in one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wearing a big dress just makes you feel a certain kind of way.
It's true.
It really does.
You
And we
can't
get to
tell me
experience
anything.
that. No.
If I'm in a crinoline, you can't tell me anything.
Same with the dolls.
Yeah.
Crinolines are one of our hottest sellers.
Yeah.
They continue to be one of our hottest sellers because it's like putting on your lipstick.
Yeah.
It really just makes the outfit.
It's true.
It truly does. This is so much fun.
Yeah.
Our factory was able to help me source. They are so cute.
Glass bottles.
Yeah.
And a real sailboat
A
inside.
real sailboat. It's so cute.
It's more of a ship, I suppose, but it's got sails. It counts.
And then we have a fun picture too that shows Grace in her masterpiece painting right there that Diana Vining did. So that's going to come inside your box as well. So we have a new add-on outfit.
Yes, we do.
For our classy babe Grace. And Christopher, what are we gonna say?
I'm bringing out the confetti cannons just for this one. I love this dress. Now, we will offer a moment of transparency.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Right.
I will say, first of all, this is a beautiful dress.
It's a beautiful dress.
Get a load of this dress. It feels
a gown.
Like, it's like mental.
Look
Like it's
look
so
at that.
gorgeous.
It has a trail.
Yeah. It's really lovely. The caveat to this is we actually had gone back and forth with the factory a number of times and were issued multiple counter samples that all made approval, or, the amendments went on to be fixed and what have you. There was an error in production with this dress. And so we initially approved an opaque black top. The top of this was supposed to be completely opaque.
Black. So
Redone with a lining so that it would just fit a little bit nicer. Well, they just weren't able to produce the garment in the desired fabric and went ahead
and didn't say anything to us. They just picked another material.
And I don't think it's obvious, but the material they chose is a little transparent. So if you want a really nice nude illusion, I think it's a very successful, chic, fashionable, trendy nude illusion, and it is lined underneath it, so you have another panel beneath the black, but it's a little transparent, so you can see the jointing of the doll.
Our wonderful friend Boots, who posts all kinds of fabulous fashion photos and outfits, gave me the idea for this dress, and they sent the idea, and I went with it, and I was just so absolutely thrilled. Now the factory felt very bad. They said it'll never happen again, and I said, because it may not matter in other industries to switch out a little color or do, like if you're making a trash can or something.
Sure.
But it matters when you're making doll gowns.
Right.
So, but I want to show it just up in the camera right there. So there is a double lining. You can sort of see it right there if I pull back her sleeve right there. And from a distance, and when you're not looking at it with a ton of light, it just looks absolutely elegant and beautiful. But it does have an element of transparency.
Sure.
And
I think, just seated on your shelf, on your display at home, the same way that she is here, we've got studio lights here, and I think it's gorgeous. I don't think that it's distracting or garish or, unacceptable by any means, because we don't produce things that we don't stand by.
No.
But this is one that just, I think, deserves a caveat. If you are used to a very sort of noble, royal character for Grace, perhaps a royal sort of character wouldn't have a nude illusion in quite this way. But I think it's beautiful, and I think as a sophisticated, empowered adult woman, it's gorgeous.
Absolutely. It's very red carpet ready.
Agreed.
A lot of extremely classy women wear nude illusion outfits and look appropriate and beautiful, especially for a red carpet type event. This isn't just for going to Wendy's. I mean,
well, only with that attitude.
Well, you could. It's for after the party.
Yeah.
After the party. But we did list this at a discount. The actual production value is the same. Okay, it's beautifully made. It's just that they switched out that fabric onto a little bit more sheer. And I said, you guys we can't have that happen anymore. And they said they acknowledged that, and they felt bad about it. But I said it wasn't that big of a deal. We're just going to tell our customers. So the belt is attached.
Yep.
And it is fully lined, like we said, so you don't have to worry about any staining or anything.
Yeah.
But we do have
If you would like,
We do have.
a
A lot of you have this stole in stock.
another idea alternative, if you would like to layer, this is one of the stoles from not the most recent winter season, was it? It was like
No, last year.
yeah.
It looks great.
I agree. I think it's just the right pop of something for this. If you feel the need to sort of layer up or feel a little bit more, maybe even just season appropriate, something that's a little bit more bundled up
Oh, yeah.
for February. I think the color palette is beautiful. You don't get to play a lot usually with black, but the combination of black with red, sort of a persimmon red, is so lovely. And I love that play on the palette of Valentine's Day. Why not lean into that sort of element with black? And the stole is a great touch. We have many fur stoles you could reach for, but this one we have enough of in stock to recommend. It's
Yes.
a good one.
We counted and we have 98, so that is good. I would never recommend this if we had 6 or 7 in stock because we don't want the disappointment, but we have a decent amount in stock. So if you want to get that, but otherwise, here's how this looks. We didn't even notice it was transparent at first.
It took me a minute.
It took us a while, and then it was only when it was sitting down and we were looking at it like this with lights overhead that we noticed, because it's lined underneath. We didn't even notice, and we ordered it in approved samples. So if it took us that long, and that's what made me feel better about it, and the fact that they're still beautifully made.
It's a gorgeous dress.
Yeah.
And I love a long sleeve, sort of like high waist or a turtleneck situation. That silhouette is always, one that I enjoy. And I think this is just very sophisticated and very pretty on her.
It is. So if you want to grab one, they are in the Grace Boutique, and we have not tried it on Elwin or anyone else, but I'm sure it would fit the RTB 102 quite well, and of course all the RTB 101s. We have some exciting things on the horizon with our wonderful Robert.
Oh,
the grandmothers are coming next. We know that for sure.
I have. Containing my excitement is a whole challenge, but we have an avalanche of things that are coming. It won't necessarily, well, I won't say an avalanche because they may not all come at once.
No.
It'll be over the course of the next year.
Yeah.
And in that time, I will just prepare for a
Lots
surprise, maybe something unexpected from the virtual doll convention.
Yeah.
And I think a very pleasing surprise.
We work very hard to try and keep it fresh and dynamic and fun and exhilarating. And I always work to put out things that I, as a collector, from having started this from zero, what it would be like if I was on the other side, what I would want. Mm-hmm. And that is something fresh and new and exciting and wonderful. Yeah. And we are, as a community and as a doll community, we have experienced a lot together. And we're going to experience a lot together soon. And we have each other. And we're going to keep having fun with fashion and adventure and excitement. And it is so fun to travel with all these dolls and to do all the fun stuff.
I know.
What we have coming for Anne and all of them.
Oh my gosh, the remaining months.
March is wild for.
I'm so excited.
March and April are just going to be so good.
Oh,
yeah.
Hang on to your britches.
Oh, I know.
Because I think the remaining months of the Anne subscription are going to be really spectacular.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Plus, we have some wonderful add-ons that we have ordered for Grace to expand throughout the year. Mm-hmm. So as long as we get them in time, we have special boxes for November and December, which is so exciting. Plus undergarments.
Because that's the best time of the year to be indulging in doll play.
Yeah.
And the season would ordinarily end in October.
Yeah.
So we have...
I couldn't do it.
Fashioned a way to get more doll things to you for December.
How can you end in October? To me, October, November, December is like a sacred time of when you want the fashion. I just couldn't fathom to end this in October. Yeah. So the stuff, if Ruby Red can pull it off, the stuff that we have ordered, which they've never not been able to pull anything off.
That's true.
For the holodays is like wild. So anyway, thank you so much. This was so fun.
I agree.
Christopher,
this was a lot of fun.
You did a wonderful job on our set. This was...
Thank you.
You did.
A pile of lace, but sometimes that's all you need.
That's all you need. It's all about the fashion on the Grace subscription. We do this one kind of like a podcast style where we sit together and chat. And I really enjoy this. I love how we do it every way, but this way it's a fun way to end the month. It's just kind of sitting down with friends. And, yeah. So thank you so much, everybody. And we hope you enjoy this one. And thank you to Tamara Casey and Diana Vining and Dil Hermondo and Paul and our wonderful editor, Omar.
Yes. Thank you, Omar. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah.
Excited to see everybody in October, and we hope to see you there too.
Yeah. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.